We start tonight with major breaking news.
Oh, it was crazy, man. It's surreal. It's still surreal. I can still see it falling. That's what's the crazy part about it.
So about 10 people all in these cars, and my grandson lifted it up, the helicopter, they lifted it up and pulled her from underneath it. Scary, it's hella scary. Something I wouldn't want to ever see again. And just got to keep praying.
Incredible new video and reaction of a helicopter crash tonight right in the middle of one of the busiest roads in Sacramento, Highway 50. We showed you a video posted on TikTok, and tonight we're learning at least 3 people are critically hurt. The incident causing major traffic delays on both sides of Highway 50 tonight. And new right now, we have just learned at least one lane is now reopened. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us on this special edition of ABC 10 News. I'm Laura Painter. We continue following the latest developments of the medical helicopter crash in East Sacramento. Here are the details that we know so far. And again, this is an evolving situation where we continue to learn new updates throughout the evening. The incident was first reported around 7 this evening on the eastbound lanes of Highway 50 at 59th Street. Sacramento Fire earlier tells us at least 3 people were inside the helicopter when it crashed. Eastbound lanes of Highway 50 in that area have been closed for at least 4 hours now, really impacting a major thoroughfare right through the heart of Sacramento. And these delays also include the eastbound on-ramp from Highway 99 to Highway 50. And we want to show you a closer look at where this crash happened. Look at this map on your screen. This is all happening in the area of Highway 50 and 59th Street. That's north of the Tahoe Park community and not far from a light rail station. West of East Sac and about a mile from the UC Davis Medical Center, as you see on that map. And tonight, we do have live team coverage. ABC 10's Garshpal Sangha is learning more details about what happened out there. And my co-anchor, Chris Thomas, is live in the field, getting emotional reaction from witnesses tonight. And Brendan Minchef is tracking the traffic impact. We start with you, Garshpal. You have been out there on the scene surveying all of the progress and changes happening as this has evolved. What are you seeing now since the last time we spoke, about half an hour ago?
Yeah, Laura, we're approaching the 4th hour of this incident, and right now there's still a lot of first responders here on scene, but obviously the news that you had shared earlier, right now not a lot of cars are coming by, but the number 1 lane has reopened. But as we zoom in to the crash site right there, you can see, we have some trucks, some tow trucks that are coming nearby. They're ready to get that helicopter off the highway. No word yet on when they're going to do that, but those trucks arriving within the past 30 minutes. So investigators say that Reach Air medical helicopter had just dropped off a patient at UC Davis Medical Center and was heading back then something went wrong midair. And it came down right here on Highway 50 in the middle of rush hour and an active construction zone. Fire crews tell us they started receiving calls from drivers around 7:10 this evening of a helicopter crash on Highway 50 near the UC Davis Medical Center. The impact trapped one of the crew members, and drivers rushed to help all 3 victims, and they were rushed to nearby hospital within 20 minutes and after the first engine arrived. But tonight, all 3 remain in critical condition, and crews had to work fast to make sure the crash didn't spark a much larger disaster. With jet fuel on board, the fire risk was extremely high.
What people do not really think of is there's not a lot of fire hydrants along the freeways. So if we did have some type of large fire incident involving the helicopter or multiple vehicles, we need to transport our own water to the scene, whether that be water tenders, a water shuttle that we set up. Multiple factors go into that. So thankfully, we did not have any fire hazard on this with active fire going on.
And so fire first responders telling me, luckily the crash did not create any active flames. That would have made the incident much worse, but the victims were taken to the different trauma hospitals, and the only condition we know tonight is that they're in critical condition. But right now, Highway 50, the number 1 lane, remains open. No word on when the remaining lanes are going to reopen, when they're going to be able to remove that helicopter. But right now, the tow trucks are on scene, and with many different agencies involved, they're be coordinating, so no word on when the full highway is going to reopen, but we do know that the NTSB and the FAA are going to be taking over this investigation, try to figure out exactly why the helicopter that was leaving UC Davis Medical Center and why it ended up here on Highway 50. Reporting live from Sacramento, Garj Paul Sunga, ABC 10.
And Garj Paul, we know it will be a long night for investigators, but we are so thankful for our first responders and their quick response. And from your vantage point, we can see that the progress being made on getting that traffic moving again. Garj Paul, thank you. I want to bring our viewers closer to the scene right now to my co-anchor, ABC 10's Chris Thomas. He joins us live now. Chris, quite a dramatic scene. I know that you have been talking to witnesses, good Samaritans who have been so brave and jumped right into action. They helped tonight. Tell us more about their dramatic stories.
Indeed, Laura, we are standing live here on Highway 50, and I want to set the scene for you. Behind me here, you have an army of tow trucks and police waiting to move in to try and clean this scene once the investigation is complete. And then here on this side is the one lane that is now open to traffic, as you see here. As you make your way around, there you see the helicopter there in the middle of the highway, and we did speak to people who jumped into action to try and save lives.
Oh, it was crazy, man. It's surreal. It's still surreal. I can still see it falling. That's what's the crazy part about it.
The Lozano family saw it all unfold.
All of a sudden, we see this helicopter, and I thought it was going to land, and it kept going down lower, and it just hit nosedive. And when it nosedived, we all just was in shock, but we all ran out of our cars, and I kept telling everybody, pull her out, get her out, get the people out, because, you know, we don't know what was going to happen, if the plane was going to go kaboosh.
And I ran to the helicopter. There was one that was outside, and there was one underneath, and there was one in the cockpit. And then a bunch of people came and we helped lift the helicopter, and we pulled her under. We had to pull her from under.
They jumped into action to try and save lives.
Yeah, my grandson, his name is Christopher Lozano. All these people here are heroes. The firemen and them, they are heroes. Because the cops could tell them to back off, but the firemen told them, no, we're not going to back off. We need all the help we can to get this plane off of this lady.
I mean, I don't want to get too deep into it, but I lost a best friend. I wasn't there to save him, so that kind of put me in a state of mind, you know? So, yeah.
You had to do something.
Exactly, yeah.
It was scary. Something I wouldn't want to ever see again. And just got to keep praying for him. And I got on Facebook and live, and I started telling everybody, start praying. I called my granddaughter, start praying. Everybody I could think of, just start praying for these people.
An unforgettable evening on Highway 50. And back here live, they were indeed true heroes to jump into action in the way that they did. I do want to tell you that, as you can see here, this is going to be a long night. There is no time frame for when this area will indeed reopen. As you can see, they have not even begun to start cleaning up the area because they are still working to try and map the scene. They have their drone up, working to try and figure out exactly what happened here. So the investigation is still very much underway. We'll be here throughout the evening and the night covering this for you on air and online at abc10.com. But for now, I'll send it back to you, Laura.
Yeah, Chris, thank you. Those amazing stories of heroism out there, hearing from the Lozano family, just incredible. Chris, while I have you on the scene there, I know you're closer there on the ground. I think his shot might be coming in and out, but if you can, what does it take to get a helicopter off a freeway? Can you describe some of the work that you're seeing out there?
Well, as you asked that question, Laura, I'm going to show you, if I can. This tow truck is moving in right now, and so the process is beginning. We're standing here as the tow truck is moving in to try and remove the debris as we speak. And so this has been a process, and it is underway right now, live for you here, as crews are now starting the process of trying to remove the debris. And we're not talking just one tow truck. Look, here is another tow truck coming. As I mentioned, that army of tow trucks that was standing by once they had finished the portion of their investigation where they felt comfortable with these trucks moving in. That is indeed happening now. And so we will be here as this process unfolds, but just understand that it does take time. I'll send it back to you.
So true, Chris. All hands on deck and a long evening ahead. Thank you for that update. Let's get to this now. Tonight, Sacramento Mayor Kevin McCarty released this statement online about the crash, thanking first responders and what he says were about 15 pedestrians who assisted with the incident. He says survivors are now being treated at local hospitals. So some good news there. Lots of progress we're seeing live unfold for us, Brendan. From your standpoint, what are you seeing as far as traffic right now? It really has been evolving and morphing throughout the night.
Yeah, it has. And it's 11 o'clock now, just after 11. So there's not that many folks out on the roads as you might expect. Excuse me. Here's where we are right now with that helicopter crash, as we've covered extensively. That's at about US 50 and 39th. US 50's down to one lane. That's US 50 eastbound, one lane. That's from Highway 99 all the way down to 59th Street. Impacts are likely to continue into the early Tuesday morning commute. Based on what I'm seeing on the Caltrans Quick Maps website right now, it does look like those Business 80 or State Route 51, right, that Capital City Expressway, southbound onto eastbound 50 or Highway 99 northbound onto eastbound 50. It does look like those are tentatively slated to reopen at 6 a.m. Of course, it depends on how the cleanup process goes, depends on how the investigation proceeds, but it does look like we have an estimated time of reopening. But at 6 a.m., that would still have some impacts into the morning commute, Laura.
We'll check back in again. Remember, you can always get more on this breaking news and other breaking news stories by downloading our free ABC 10 Plus TV streaming app. Stay with us. We're following the breaking news of the helicopter crash on Highway 50. Lots of progress being made. We're gonna check in with our crews again soon. Stay with us. The helicopter crash on Highway 50. This has been an evolving situation since the crash happened at around 7 o'clock tonight. We want to show you a live look, if we can, of the latest activity. But actually, we do have ABC 10's Garshpal Sangha. We're checking in with him again for the latest updates here. Garshpal, from your vantage point, you've been perched above the freeway here watching this all unfold. What's the latest? What are you seeing from the scene right now?
Yeah, Laura, we are on the 48th Street overpass, and we have this direct vantage point of this crash site here. Right now, we're just waiting for crews to kind of wrap up their portion of the investigation, and once they do that, you can take a look at those tow trucks that are nearby. There's two of them actually down there, and then once they figure that out, then they're gonna put that helicopter on the tow trucks and then remove it and then kind of clean up the area and kind of go from there. But this is a long investigation that crews really have to figure out here. And that's that Reach Air medical helicopter that had just dropped off patients at UC Davis Medical Center and was heading back when something went wrong mid-air. And Sacramento Fire once again telling us on arrival, they found 3 victims from the aircraft they located, and they were in critical condition, and no vehicles were involved, just a helicopter. Initially, we were told that the helicopter had crashed onto a vehicle, but Sac Fire told us that was not the case, and miraculously, no one that was on the highway driving their car was injured, just the 3 people, the crew members who were inside that helicopter. And another breathing a little sigh of relief for crews is that, especially that jet fuel that's on the helicopter. The crews are saying that they're very lucky that fuel did not catch on fire. That would have caused even more problems than they were anticipating, because there's no fire hydrants along Highway 50 here, along any major highways. So right now, crews are breathing a sigh of relief, but tonight, thinking about those 3 victims who are currently in critical condition that were crew members of this helicopter that crashed. Reporting live from Sacramento, Garshpal Sangha, ABC 10.
Yeah, Garshpal, thank you. It has been incredible to see in just these past few hours, this amount of time, the progress crews have been able to make in opening at least one lane for the traffic to move and slowly trickle. Thank you, Garshpal. We're going to continue to follow this and any updates that come down the line. Don't go anywhere. We are on top of this story, so stay with us. We're back after this. We continue to follow breaking news of that helicopter crash that shut down Highway 50. This is another vantage point that we're getting just into our newsroom. This is a different look at Highway 50 from our tower cam in downtown Sacramento. You can see those lights of the cars moving on that road. Some progress has been made this evening, thankfully, so you can see those cars moving slowly but surely here. We want to go back out live to ABC 10's Garshpal Sangha. Garshpal, you have been on top of this story, and I understand you have some new video that you want to share with us. Can you tell us what it is and what we're going to be seeing?
Yeah, Laura, Sacramento Fire just releasing the video of much closer to the scene, a vantage point that we haven't really seen, as you can take a look there on your screen. Sacramento Fire releasing that video of the crash site. You can see the helicopter on its side and the debris that is scattered across the busy freeway. And that's sort of what crews have to deal with. Aside from the investigation that they have to deal with, they have to clean up all that area before it is safe for drivers to really start driving through this stretch. So it just gives you a little glimpse of what crews are dealing with on site. It's a little difficult for us because we're about a half a mile away, but you can see from that video that Sacramento Fire released tonight what they're facing with down there and also with CHP, and they have to do that investigation, and then once they've completed their portion of it, then they have to pass that on to the FAA and the NTSB so they can figure out exactly what happened here, what made that helicopter fall on Highway 50 here. So there's still a lot of questions that need to be answered into exactly why all of this happened, but that video just showing us a glimpse of exactly what crews are dealing with down there. So we'll continue to try to get new information. As soon as we do, we will make sure to give that on air and also online at abc10.com. But tonight we're getting that closer look at that video of just exactly what crews are dealing with there on the ground. Reporting live from Sacramento, Garshpal Sangha, ABC 10.
Yeah, Garshpal, thank you so much for that up-close look, giving us perspective on what crews are up against, and we know that this could have ended so much worse, so we are so thankful for our first responders and the traffic crews out there. Garshpal, thank you. We want to go out live to my co-anchor, Chris Thomas, who is on the highway right now. You've been showing us, Chris, the progress that has been made. The last time I spoke to you a few minutes ago, we saw several tow trucks coming in. Give us an update on the progress. How are they going to get this helicopter that's been sitting in the middle of Highway 50? How are they going to move this massive thing off of the road?
Indeed, Laura, as we mentioned to you earlier, they had an army of tow trucks standing by for this very moment. I can tell you one of the CHP investigators just drove off. They finished their portion of this investigation, and now, if you take a look behind me, you can see the cleanup process is underway. They are taking their time and trying to get this area cleared so that they can reopen the highway. We're standing here in the middle of Highway 50. I can tell you we spoke to people who were here when this helicopter went down. They say they jumped out of their car. They ran over to the helicopter to try and help the 3 victims inside. One woman telling me that she actually was there with one of the female victims, holding her hand, telling her that she was going to be okay, praying with her even. She says that she was able to get one of the badges of the victims, and she shared a name with us. We aren't going to share that on camera tonight because we want to give the family time to learn about the condition of their loved one before we share names. But it just goes to show you what so many people did here on this highway tonight to try and hopefully save lives. The process now underway to try and clean this thing up and try and get the highway back open and moving again. There is at least one lane that is open tonight, but a very long night ahead as this process continues, Laura.
Yeah, you said that right, Chris. A long night ahead. Those crews busy behind you. But really, we're so touched by those amazing stories of humanity, those emotional stories from those bystanders and just folks who are out there who leapt into action there. Really amazing stuff. Chris, thank you. We want to zoom out a little bit from the crash scene there that we just saw. Chris Thomas right on the freeway there. Brendan, from your vantage point, what are you seeing surveying the whole area here traffic-wise?
Yeah, well, obviously 50's a mess. You don't want to take 50 over the next several hours overnight or for the early morning commute either. It's all one lane from Highway 99 out to at least 39th Street, but it looks like 59th Street is where we're seeing just one lane, the leftmost lane. I say impacts are likely to continue into the Tuesday morning commute because, according to Caltrans Quick Maps, the ramps from Business 80 and Highway 99 onto eastbound 50 are not expected to open again until 6 o'clock in the morning. So that early morning commute on 50 is definitely going to be impacted. I guess perhaps, though, most folks are probably headed westbound into Sacramento as opposed to eastbound out of Sacramento for that early morning commute, but still something to just keep in mind. 87, as we talk about the weather now, 87 is what we saw in Sacramento this afternoon, 87 Stockton, 86 in Modesto, 84 out in San Francisco. Temperatures in the Bay, 10 degrees warmer than normal for the time of year, and across the valley we were running 3 to almost 5 degrees warmer than normal. 65 right now, 64 in Stockton, 70 in Modesto, 66 in Colusa, 66 in Placerville, and 30s up in the high country where we have some easterly winds across the Sierra, but winds are a lot lighter down here in the valley. 30s on the lower side of freezing likely to start Tuesday morning in the high country. Across the valley, we're going to be in those middle to upper 50s, and we're going to be looking at close to 90 degrees tomorrow afternoon. It is going to be definitely warm by October standards. 88 in Sacramento, 90 in Stockton, 90 down in Modesto as well. A weak little cutoff low pressure system, high pressure trying to influence our pattern a little, but we're going to get a system diving down. So Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to see temperatures plummet. And by the time we get to Friday into Saturday morning, we could see some light valley showers and potentially some Sierra flurries across the very high passes. So clear skies tomorrow as we still see those northerly winds that'll eat away at the fog and the marine stratus. As we look at Thursday, though, we start to see some showers in the upper valley. Long-range futurecast shows that system coming in Friday evening and even some flurries across the high passes such as Donner and Echo by the time we get to Friday night into Saturday morning. That's our next rain-making system. It's not going to be a big one, but definitely going to have that chance for showers. But look at the temperatures, almost all 70s.
Wow, fall really being true to form. Brendan, thank you. Let's talk sports now. Nobody's more excited about the start of basketball season than our very own Kevin John. Woohoo! Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Laura, that's right. We just have 2 more sleeps until the Sacramento Kings tip off their preseason, which will be on Wednesday night. Coming up in sports, we're taking you inside day 6 of training camp. You guys, stick around.
Before we go tonight, we want to take another live look at the scene of the medical helicopter crash on Highway 50. You are looking live right now at 2 different vantage points from our ABC 10 teammates on the scene right now. On the left, you can see Garshpal shot a little more perched up here. We can see traffic moving on the right side of your screen. Crews have thankfully been able to move one of the barriers and let traffic slowly trickle through there. And then on the right, you can see right from our team on Highway 50, the helicopter that has caused this major backup throughout the evening, a medical helicopter crash on Highway 50. You can see the crews working to move this massive helicopter off the freeway. Progress has been made. 1 lane of eastbound highway is open and crews are actively working. And here's what we know so far. The incident was first reported around 7 this evening on Highway 50 and 59th Street. Sacramento Fire earlier tells us at least 3 people were inside the helicopter when it crashed. We're told they suffered major injuries and are now being treated at the hospital. 1 lane is now reopened again on Highway 50, while the eastbound on-ramp from Highway 99 remains closed, but several lanes are still closed. No estimated time on when all the lanes will reopen. But again, progress is slowly being made thanks to the crews on scene. This is a developing story that we will continue to follow throughout the night on air and online and with our ABC 10 morning team as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Download the free ABC 10 Plus TV streaming app for continued coverage and breaking news. Good night.